Hello, guys, and welcome back to Common Courtesy. I'm your host and moderator, Sean Nicholas, aka Desire Some More. Next to me, I have my co-host, Nikki Prue. What's up, girl?
How's it going?
It's going. Like, we're here. We're alive.
We're here. We did it. We made it to another week.
Yes, another week. And next to her is our guest co-host, Jacob King. I got that right.
You got it right.
I got it right. Yes, aka Baklava. She's also a local performer in St. Petersburg, Florida.
I love that name, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
A nice, tasty treat.
Yep.
Instagram, who is Baklava?
Hello. Product placement. Oh, really fast. Our co-host Ashley I messed things up with scheduling. She's not here because of that.
We can never get it together.
Never. Well,
We miss you, Ashley.
We miss you.
And she's super busy. She's making huge things happen.
Yeah, she's
Totally
going to
get
grad
it.
school. Like, she's studying psychology. And she's really smart. So every time we get her on the show, I feel like we're blessed. We're being graced, you know.
And she'll be back.
Okay.
We'll all be back together eventually.
Okay, so I wanted to get to online dating versus physical dating because I got into a discussion about that. So the question is, these days we have Grindr, we have Tinder, we have eHarmony, other things that get us out there in order to connect with someone else. And even Facebook's doing Facebook dating now.
Oh.
Yes, it is. You didn't know that?
I didn't know.
Like they even needed to.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was the poke button.
No.
yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. They're like, well, you guys are doing this here anyway. We might as well give you a little playground to have your activities and have at it, kids.
So I was having a discussion last night with an older gentleman, and he was saying that he was just totally against online dating. He felt that if you're on Grindr, you're clicking for sex or whatever, whatnot. And he said you should go out and meet people. My question is, between the two, like, is online dating legit and meeting people out in the real world gone forever? Or is there a right way and a wrong way? Nikki, I'm
okay.
sorry.
Oh, you look at
We're going to go to Nikki first. I'm sorry.
That's just, I think yes to all of it. Like, I feel like meeting people in person is definitely not a dead thing because it's just something, it's a natural thing that people do. You go out in public, and if you're single and you are looking to meet someone, it's usually going to happen even if it's not the one. You're going to meet people out.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't think online dating is not legit. I think it can, like we were talking about earlier, I think it can be used for multiple purposes. It can be used for just looking to hook up with somebody. It can be used to just looking for somebody to hang out with. But it can also be used to form a real connection. My cousin met his wife on, I think, eHarmony, and she's phenomenal, and I couldn't imagine another person for either of them being more perfect. And they have kids now, and they have an amazing life, and that's how they met, but they were both just very, very busy people who didn't go out a lot, and they wanted that connection, but they needed a different platform other than just going to bars, because that's a lot of the times that's how it happens, unless you're going to like classes and whatever. So I think both forms can be legit, and I think it's just with online dating, I guess, as well as in person meeting people, you have to be very clear up front about what it is you're looking for.
Yes, you
And
do.
online dating, there's a whole gray area of different approaches that you'll get from different people. So I think it just matters, the point is you just have to be clear about what it is that you're looking for, no matter what platform.
Right.
And you're going to get people who are looking for other things, no matter what.
Yes.
Gently bat them away.
And we're going to Jacob. Jacob.
Well, I can only speak from the experience of being a single gay male who also does not drink a lot. So I can tell you that I spent some of my time, in the Grindr, Tinder, whatever, verse, and I have also sometimes will say, no, this is toxic, it's not for me, and I'll take time off. But often, even though I do a lot of things, I'm busy with work and a lot of work and personal projects and life and friends. So I find that, no bang for your buck, the social networking is the way that I meet the most people. But then, it's kind of also the saying that you get twice as many dogs, you get twice as many fleas, too.
Yes,
so
that's an excellent saying. It's true. So there's more sifting, for sure.
Yes, there's a lot. It's definitely panning for gold, but I guess it's like that on or off the internet.
Yeah, and I mean, but again, you deal with the same thing in person in those situations, too, So it's kind of, you're going to you're gonna have to deal with the fleas no matter what, to some extent.
Right.
So
You're just stuck with the fleas in person until
yes,
social cue
yeah,
longer.
absolutely. And sometimes, I mean, I was tired of it too. That's why I tried online dating for a little while too, because I'm like, this is just, it's exhausting sometimes.
Yes.
And you just want, you just want to get to know someone. It's true.
Yeah.
It is exhausting.
Well, I mean, I just thought it was an interesting thing because I feel like the older generation, I feel like they believe us millennials or, Generation Z, whatever, whatnot, we are losing contact with the real world and reality. Because this gentleman I was speaking to last night, he was like, well, we live in reality. When you're online, you're making yourself look like someone that you're not. And it's not realistic. And he's like, you can't realistically have a relationship with someone that you just met online, and he's like, you're inviting them to your home. I just kind of felt, I don't know, because I agree with both of you. Honestly, I agree with both of you because it makes you, being a single gay man in Florida and New York, that's how we meet. Because let's think about it, not 10 years ago, it was not okay to be gay. Even now, you have some guys that are our age who are still in the closet and they're on.
Well, like we've talked about before, it's easier now because of a lot of things have happened, but it's not easy. And I mean, that's just speaking from like the people that I know who have gone through all this. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine. The trials of dating are just enough as it is without adding another layer of difficulty.
Because I brought up an interesting part. I was like, what if we lived in, because I live in Florida again. I feel like, damn, I live in like Timbuktu because everything's so far,
Compared to New York, I'm sure
everything's so far away.
Yes, it's huge.
And so I'm like, well, think about someone that lives in the Midwest, and yeah, you are a gay man, but not everyone's, there's like what, 300 people in your town, or maybe 1,000 people, 2,000.
Yes.
That's a really good point.
I told him, I was like, well, what about those people? They don't get a chance to go to these big metropolitan places or places that have a lot more people that live there. You can find someone. I mean, yeah, you can go out and meet someone, and like you said earlier, you're going to catch as many fleas or dogs, whatever. I don't know the term.
Catch all the animals.
Twice as many dogs, twice as many
It's
fleas.
the same thing because
Yeah.
you're going to, like Nikki said, you're going to deal with the same things that you see in person. Like I told him, I was like, well, one of my ex-boyfriends was, I'm not going to spill out his guts here, but he was really, when I say he was crazy, girl, like I'm not saying that because we had a bad relationship. We actually had a great relationship, but he was crazy. And I found that out. And I met him where? At my job in person, and I knew him before.
Oh, crazies exist in the real
Yeah,
life
that's
too.
a really good point because yes, I met far crazier people and dealt with far crazier people in person. You know who
Yeah.
you are. Don't even pretend you don't.
At least online, people are generally pretty straightforward about their.
Because exactly. It's like saying things to someone online that you wouldn't in person because that courage is there. It's like internet courage.
Second life interaction.
This is me.
If you block people faster, if you don't respond, if you act like more of an asshole around people, because you're not in that face-to-face setting, or you're not getting a certain picture or a certain response fast
It's easier
enough.
to.
And I mean, I will be honest, I get a little crazy too, at the 3 a.m. nights,
Who
and
doesn't?
someone, yeah,
I
so.
mean.
But but I think that there are definitely different factors when it's not a face-to-face interaction.
I mean, I have a question for you because now that we're talking about online dating, this is what I wanted to ask. What is it? Do people really need to have headless torsos on Grindr still? Can I ask that?
Wait
I'm
a
gonna
minute.
fucking ask it. Yeah.
What's
you
a
don't
headless-
know.
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know. Oh, good. So you'll go down.
I'm learning.
Where's my phone? I don't have
We'll
it.
just-
somewhere. We'll just leave it. No, but like you're on Grindr, right? And they're hiding like anonymity. No, they're trying to hide.
Don't try to make me say that word. It won't be able to happen.
It's hard.
Sea anemone is, I think, what we're looking for.
Well, no,
I'll Nemo that
You're trying to
right
like
now.
keep your profile low. You don't show your face. It's just like your body. Yeah, it's like okay.
It's a girl.
Because
well, no,
men
it's
are
a thing.
visual. I'll be
But-
honest. In defense, men are very visual creatures.
See the things that I don't know about.
Yeah. So I'm like, in this day and age, they still have that. Or you have like blank profiles. Why is that still going on? I just
I
want
don't
to
even
pick your
look at a
brain.
message.
Not that you have all the answers.
Maybe a few. I think there's a lot of reasons why people do shirtless pictures. You have a body there, which is going to be of interest, and you're marketing that a certain way when you're online.
Because wait, hold on. My real point was this.
Okay.
Most of those guys are saying they're DL or whatever, whatnot. I'm like, if you're DL, And you apparently that means that you have a lot of straight friends, and you live a a heterosexual lifestyle, and that's everyone in your community. How would anyone know that you're on there and they're on there too?
Exactly, unless they're on there as well.
Right. Like, what are you like? That's what I was thinking.
A fair
Last
point.
Yeah. But discretion, hard finger quote there, discretion is one of the reasons for sure too. You know, maybe your face isn't that good to look at either. You know, maybe that's a third one, and you have a great body, and you're trying to play.
Market that first.
Yeah. You know, I think there's a lot of maybe people don't have that confidence in the first place. I don't know. But you know, I have seen that people get me more responses if I play the game and put up some trade pictures than if I actually put myself forward. But I find that the numbers dropping by being myself.
What do you mean, play the game?
Oh yeah, like if I just make myself out to be the cookie cutter guy on, you know, Tinder, Grindr, and I make sure my pics are spot on, and I've got like a not too revealing bio. But
Doesn't that only attract like a certain kind of person who's looking for a certain kind of
exactly
surface?
So yeah, and I find that by putting myself forward, I definitely lose more people coming onto my profiles and more matches or whatever you want to say. But I also am hopefully saving myself some time in the process too.
Quality.
It feels like it.
quantity.
I hope it is.
Because
Yeah.
like I feel like there's this level of dishonesty when you know it's like they're messaging you and they're like talk. I've had full blown conversations with people, never seen their face until like after a while, and I'm like, they're like, oh, what's wrong? Why can't you talk to me? I'm like, because I don't know what you look like.
Yeah.
And it's very strange. Now in that sense, I understand that. Like, what was that guy? Jonathan. That was his name. I understand Jonathan's point when he says that you're clicking for sex or whatever, not, and you can never take it seriously because yeah, there's a level of dishonesty, and I understand discretion, but
But it's not always discretion.
Right.
There's a lot of reasons for sure.
I mean, I just think this, like, we live in 2019, like, we all got here. We didn't all get here by immaculate conception. we're all having sex, you know, we all do that. Yeah, there are some people who are cheating.
Literally what makes the world go round.
I just think it should be honest, and I don't understand.
Well, that's how I was when that was my biggest, maybe my biggest problem. Like because I did it for a very short time, and I was just because I'm like, I don't ever want to make myself appear to be more or something different than I am, because I'm gonna feel super weird in person if I'm trying to hide something.
Right.
So I tried to like put everything, not like everything about me, but like just what I looked like, what I was interested in. Boom, there it is. Do what you will with it. And I think, that was why there's just, and like I said, there's people on both sides looking for different things on every site, but sometimes the ones who are going to be more vocal about it are usually the ones who are looking for more like a just
Now,
quick.
I'm going to throw a curveball in here.
All right. I like
So at least through Tinder, Grindr, those are probably the two main ones that I use.
Yeah.
I have found that if I will meet somebody, not that I have a problem with this setup if there's quality involved either, that's fine. But the thing that has worked best for me over the years is to meet somebody for sex first. And then if the vibe is good, they hang out. Maybe it could be several hours that they hang out, or we hang out again after that. But like, I have found that if I try and go for a date first and try it that way, the expectations are too high, things are too crazy.
There's a lot of pressure.
There's grilling, there's pressures, and then this whole thing of sex at the end becomes a bigger maybe.
Yes.
And then if you have sex at that point, it's
like there's even more pressure.
yeah, it's like, oh, what did that mean? I had sex with someone I went on a date with, and now do I? Like, it's so yeah. What I have had the best response with is having
That
sex first and
is
chilling
a
afterwards.
really interesting
Seriously.
point that I never thought about before. But it's because sex is it doesn't
You have to connect.
stay with
There's
me.
no lies.
But
Oh, yeah.
it's
Okay.
it's an easier when you're sitting and talking to someone that you just met face to face,
So how
and
much
it's
do you
just
make?
you two, and it's just tell me about this, tell me about your life, and you're like, what?
What are you looking for?
But when sex is just, that's instinct. That's all just normal. Nothing feels weird or off because you don't have to think. It's way more difficult to form an emotional connection with somebody. It
Yeah.
takes way more time. That's why a lot of people don't want to start off with that, because it just sets this whole precedent of we go up from here.
Yeah.
And
I
I
mean-
think that probably scares people.
Well, I mean, okay, let's
Or
throw
makes
another
them
curveball in there. Do you think having sex before you start a relationship is bad? Like, should you Should you wait? Remember the whole thing, like wait 3 dates or whatever, whatnot? Like, do you think
No,
you can sleep with
I
someone?
think that it's
'cause that's
stupid
what
to
he
go
just kinda
by.
said.
Well, yeah, but I no, but not necessarily. I think it just go by what you feel is right.
Right.
I don't think it's wrong or right. Like I don't think you should ever put a well, you shouldn't ever do this, and you should wait this amount of days or this amount of time. Do whatever, because once you start like thinking into those terms,
You're putting pressure on yourself.
Yes, and then
Yeah.
everything becomes a game, and you're trying to win, and before long, you don't even know what you're playing for anyway. I feel like just do whatever feels
Right.
right at the time.
Because like final thought I would say on this is like I kind of agree with him because because when you ask for a date, I don't know why people put so many expectations on a date because you're just going out like.
But it's
You're
different
having
than
drinks.
just hooking up with somebody like off the cuff. Like,
Yeah,
it's-
I mean,
there's
yeah.
planning, there's thought, there's expectations. There's
You got to look good for a couple of hours.
it puts a lot of there's a lot of pressure behind it. So I totally get that too.
I
What?
mean, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and sometimes if you are going on a date, you realize that there are things that you don't like about each other that you might not have found out, or that would have not been red flags until. Okay, so we've covered I'm a drag queen already. If I tell somebody that I'm a drag queen after I fucked them or whatever, no big deal. If I tell them before, you can feel
The tension
the lack
and
of
the,
interest, and not always, but like a lot
Not
of
even
the time,
just like stipulations or whatever. I don't know.
they
It's
start. You see the wheels start turning in the head, and you don't know what it means,
And
but
it's a
you
fuck-
feel them.
a shame. Sorry.
I'm glad
It's a
you.
gosh darn shame.
I'm glad you mentioned that because you're right. We
But
have to
it
move
is.
on. But you're right because like you tell someone you're a drag queen, it's like, oh well, you're a woman. They don't understand that doing drag is a side job. It's a job. You know, you're not.
Passion job.
I was
but-
just
Right.
gonna say it's
It's-
something you're interested in and passionate about.
Yeah.
That you work really hard for.
And you can possibly make money at. But you're not, like I told my brother, he's like, you want to be a woman. I'm like, I'm not dressed as a woman now as I'm speaking to you. You know, I don't understand. I just thought I started laughing because just becoming a drag performer, I'm like, because I call myself a drag performer. I don't think I'm a queen.
I'm a queen.
I'm young.
I think you're.
I'm young.
I do want to say
You're
though
on your
too.
way.
I sometimes have said that I'm a drag queen to people, and they're like, "Yeah, show me your shoes." You know, so that does happen too. It's not just the fear and
Yeah.
stuff, but
But I know what you mean. All right, so I thought it was a fun topic. This one, we were talking about this woman who was she was living. No, excuse me. I'm sorry. We were talking about this girl who kept following her parents' advice. You know, she went to the school her parents thought she should go to. She went to she worked at she has the career that her parents suggested. She lives in a neighborhood that her father suggested. And she was wondering, when is it okay to stop following her parents' advice or her parents' plan for her? And I asked the same question, like, because I see a lot of this, you know, a lot of kids, they say, oh, my parents wouldn't like me being a doctor or an actor or anything like that. Should you take your parents' advice? I mean, excuse me, should you follow your parents' plan, what they want for you?
Me again?
Yeah, sorry. Well, we can start with Jacob first.
I think that people who are older than you
Yeah?
sometimes do know things that you don't, and it's important to remember that. But they're also coming from a different place and a different perspective and different needs. I think it should always be listened to, but I think at the end of the day, if I had lived the way my dad or grandmother or, you know, whatever wanted me to live, I would be radically different people and way more vanilla, honestly. Might have more money, but like I wouldn't be bringing me peace. My grandma keeps trying to get me to do numbers in flat boots and drag because she's concerned about the heels, and I mean, just imagine what that would do to my legs. So you know, we can't always take family's advice.
I like that example. That's awesome.
But no, it's but yeah, I think that at the end of the day, you're the one who has to live with yourself and your choices, and it's what you have to do if you want to be happy. There's discomfort in stepping out of a certain path, but that's where happiness also comes from too.
Really fast. The woman in the background is Rosalind, my grandma's nurse. Don't be
Bye, Ross.
alarmed.
Bye.
See you later.
Okay.
Bye. Nikki, go ahead.
I pretty much completely agree with Jacob. I think you're right. Like especially at certain points in our lives, we do need to listen to. Our parents went through things that could be very similar things that we've gone through. It is important. I find myself doing it to my younger sister, who's not even that younger than me, much
Yeah.
younger than me, but I still find myself trying to stop her from doing things that I did only because I want better for her. So I 100% get that. But there does come a point where you have to say what actually makes me happy, because again, you are the one who has to live with yourself. You're the one who has to live your life in your body and make all of your own choices and live with those consequences. So I think there comes a time where you have to just say, this is right for me. And sometimes there's a fallout. Sometimes, not everybody's going to understand your decision.
Right.
But if you can't be happy with your own decisions, and you can't make decisions on your own to make you happy, then what kind of life are you living? You're living somebody else's.
Right.
And same, if I had gone along with exactly what my parents had wanted for me, I would be a very different person. I think I'd be a very unhappy person. And again, I'd probably have more money, but I wouldn't be me, and I wouldn't be like the me that I need to be happy and to move forward in my life in directions that I want to go that are going to keep me happy. So you just have to kind of take it with a grain of salt, for sure.
Yeah.
But in the end, you have to kind of go off on your own path, I think.
Yeah.
By the way, I just saw myself on screen. I look sexy.
You do. That's a really good color on you, actually.
It's like, I listened to everything you said. I just got a glimpse.
That's
I was
all right.
like,
That's all right.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I kind of agree, and because honestly, because remember, this woman was 30 years old.
And that's what I was
In
I
this-
was also
in
gonna
this-
point that out too. And that's a point in time where you kind of have to like make or break.
Yeah.
Which way are you gonna go? Like you either gonna follow that path forever, or you're gonna go off and make your own path.
Because me, when I turned 18, I was like, out. I remember my parents wanted me to be a doctor, and I was really into that. I had like a little stethoscope and what's that the little thing that they wrap around your arm.
Like
they
blood
pump it.
pressure
Yeah,
cuff.
blood pressure
Yep.
shit. I had like a little medicine bag, and I would carry it around when I was like 5 or 6. And then I got bitten by the acting bug, and I love entertaining and performing. And they always supported that. But, for my sexuality, I would never want to tell them, because my mom would always say, I want you to meet a nice girl, and she would never. This is back in the day too. So what he said earlier, they're coming from their times.
Yeah.
So she was saying that, and if I lived that straight life, that lie, because whose life are you really living anyway? Because I would tell.
It didn't mean your mom was trying to keep you from doing things. She just cared and wanted her version of the best for you.
Right.
And doesn't make our parents wrong, because they want different things for us. But again, sorry.
No, you're good.
People can only help you in a way that they know how to help, from what has worked for them and
Yep.
from their expertise, and they can only help from their perspective.
Exactly, because honestly, I told myself this because I didn't want to come out. I wanted to I was gonna try, just be straight, Yeah, I was. But then I thought, how would that make me feel if someone, for years and years, I'm sharing a life with them and it's all a lie? How would that make me feel? And I was studying acting at the time, and it's all about getting your feelings, girl. And I cried. I was like, I couldn't do that. I can't. If someone did that to me, then I would feel like that. Because my ex-boyfriend had a wife for 10-something years, and I'm like, how did you lie to her for all this time? And when he would lie to me, I'm like, you're bad. I don't know how you lied to her for 10 years, but you're used to it, because it's a survival mechanism, because he's doing it. I'm not saying he's a bad person. He lived back in he was 20 back in the early 80s, and you can't be gay then, it wasn't okay, so I kind of understand it, but he's kind of used to it. So I'm surprised this woman is writing this letter now. She's 30, because, child, I'm out. I don't really listen to what my parents.
Well, maybe she's a person who she did the advice, and it 80% of it worked out really well for her, and the other 20%'s missing. You never.
She says she's not. Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember
this part.
I don't remember what
She said
happened
she's not
either.
happy. I should have said that earlier. She's like, I'm not really happy. She's like, yes, I have a successful life. She's basically what she just said at that last part was what you guys said. If you had lived the life your parents wanted,
But she feels like something's missing.
yeah, something's missing, and I just can't. I'm sorry, I'm a Leo, and I just can't have someone telling me how to do something or how to live my life. I'm just not like that. I not that I don't take people's advice. I listen.
Well, there's a
but-
difference between taking people's advice and taking their opinions and thoughts into consideration and completely doing what they do.
Right, living the life plan they planned out for
Yeah.
you. I think that's
no,
ridiculous.
I think it's great to ask advice from people. I think that's a good way to learn about yourself
Yeah.
and hear your problems in a different light. But at the end of the day, you need to do what's best for you, and that's the most important thing.
So really fast, I'm gonna throw this one in here. So my mom and I was having a conversation, and she was like, "You date a lot of guys, you know?" And I was like, "Well, I don't date a lot of guys, you know. I date around, you know." And so I was reading on a advice column. This guy wrote in about his wife, and he said, you know, she had a very active sex life before we got married, and I want to know, like, he's like, he has a problem with it. Like, I have a question for you guys. Would you guys have a problem with the amount of, because you know people ask you how many people you've been with. Do you actually care how many people they've been with, Nikki?
No. No, and I won't ask anyone's number.
And should you
and
care?
I won't talk about mine because that was before. Like, that was, and if I'm with someone now, that's what it is now.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, your past is your past, and your past helped to make you who you are. So as much as my sister and I were actually having a conversation about something similar earlier, and she's like, I mean, you know, do I have regrets? Of course. Like, there's some things that I regret having happened or maybe getting involved with, but I can't really at the end of the day because it's all part of what brought me to right here and this person that I am, and it taught me these lessons. So for someone to be upset with you for who you slept with or how many people you slept with in the past,
Yeah.
that's saying to you, like, you might be a different person if those things hadn't happened. I mean,
Right.
it doesn't even have to be all about sex, but, like, just that leads to relationships and interactions and connections with people that you may have learned things from. So I just think it's a fruitless battle to try to play that game of what you had, because then that's all you think about. I feel like the past is a past, leave it there and move forward, because that's why it's the
Well, and
past.
who feels better about themselves after someone's like, you've been with how many people? Like, yeah, like, it's not going to help you in the conversation.
Like, would you care, or and should you care? Like, how many people someone else slept with? Jacob?
If somebody was, I wouldn't ask them first. Though I think there are more important questions. I would ask their, you know, status. Are they, you know, no STDs or anything like that if we're about to hook up? Are they using hard drugs?
That's where it becomes important.
Those are questions.
But if it's
that
just
filter.
a matter of your sexual history, no. But you're absolutely right, and I was going to talk about that.
Well, because the other ones are like kind of a judgment, but the other one, but these ones are actual statistical factors that are going to affect, like, your
life.
Yes, and your experience with this. I think those are fair questions, you know. And on a side note, if someone has a problem with, you know, a number that I may have of people I've been with, and I'm like, you're really cute and you got some stuff going for you, then lock me down, bitch. Like, you know, like, if you don't like it, then why don't you?
Sorry, I didn't know you.
Yeah,
before.
like, if you want it that bad, then you gotta.
Give me a reason.
Yeah.
I just think it's kind
It's usually the people asking those questions, though, who are not willing to
know.
make that commitment.
I just want to put a funny, I'll be quick, I have a funny
Yeah.
little side story. So there's this guy that's been wanting to hook up with me for a while, and we have before, and, like, he's a nice guy, you know, whatever. But, whatever, we haven't been hanging out as much, mainly my choice on that one lately. And so he's always, like, texting me and stuff like that, and I was like, oh, hon, I'm going to be a woman this night, you know, because he knew I was queen and didn't care. And so, he's like, oh, so we can hook up with you as a girl? And I was like, no, hon. I was like, I you know, if you're around, you got to treat me like a woman. He's like, then I will. And he could tell he was thinking about sex. But so I text him, though, after he said he's free, he wants to hang out, he's all about it. I'm like, well, if you're treating me like a woman, I'm going to be out working, so you can open the doors, make sure there's tips going, applaud at the end when they come and do the, you know, I said all the stuff that you're supposed to do. You can carry my bags if you want, because it's really heavy when you're in 8-inch heels, you know. And all of a sudden, motherfucker, busy. He's like, oh, well, you know, I'm pretty tired. Like, it's been a long day. Maybe tomorrow. You're going to be a guy in the morning. And I was like,
He
wow.
He was like, you'll be a guy tomorrow, right? Let's hang out that. I was
and we see why we have a choice on that one.
And we're moving.
Yeah, I've dated someone like that. It was kind of weird. I'll just say it real fast. It's funny, because I met him once after drag, after Iberian, and I was at Lucky Star. I'm like, sometimes I take my wig off and I have like a head wrap. My grandma wears that at night. A little head wrap, you know, I wrap my hair up. And I'm at Lucky Star, and this guy, I meet him, whatnot, and he asked me out on a date. He's kind of cute. And I said, okay. And he's like, so are you going to come as, like, Desire or Sean?
Oh.
Well, we were texting later. And I was like, that's a weird question. Like, I told you.
We've covered this already.
Yeah, there's a difference between transvestite and a transgendered woman and a drag queen. they're different
I
things.
just think that like the men that you're interacting with should know more about this stuff than I do.
Side
And
note-
from some of these stories, that just doesn't seem the case. Why would you ask that?
ask that.
I just didn't see that coming. I don't know, but like yeah, I wouldn't really care about how many someone like someone slept with. I mean, only if it's like it's my first time. I don't want to be in charge of that. And if you don't have that much experience, you probably don't know what you're doing because it took a minute.
That's
to
also
get
a different thing, yeah. I would
Yeah.
like to know if it's a good thing. You should probably point out if you are a virgin. That's
Yeah,
something you
That's a
should
great.
probably...
That's a great start.
That's something you should say. Like, you know.
Well, at least so the other person can kind of accommodate a little
Exactly,
bit.
because that's kind of like a crazy thing. Like, I can't imagine. Like, I wouldn't...
I couldn't imagine. I mean, I just
it's
wouldn't
a
want
big
to.
responsibility.
It is. It is.
I mean,
If you're a decent person, like,
If you're
I
a
feel like
decent
it's like...
person.
And also, even if you're not, it's like, ooh.
I wouldn't
don't
say
know.
anything. Would you say something if you're a
I would.
virgin?
I would tell. I would tell.
You would say something if
I
you're a
would tell.
virgin?
I
Would
think I
you?
did to the person. Yeah.
I don't
Did
know.
you?
been
Would
a
you?
while since,
Well, let's say.
I can't say.
Let's say if you were a virgin, would you say anything?
I honestly can't. I don't even know how to answer that because I can't imagine.
tell him, like,
at
you were
this
a
point, I
virgin,
don't know
did
if
you?
I would. No,
we only
that's
got one
actually-
vote at that.
All right, I guess maybe that's why that triggered me. Because I don't. Anyway,
Also,
I wouldn't say anything.
side note, we covered drag a little earlier to the drag queens out there. Do not do anything, pro tip, until the face and the female body have been fully removed. Then you're good. But
Then
don't
you're
not-
good.
Where's the
nothing
wisdom,
before
see?
that. Don't
But I
don't mix
wouldn't.
those.
You know, my first time, I didn't tell my friend. What was his name? Again? I don't know. Leary. I didn't say anything. I didn't say it was my first time because I didn't want him to think about that. Like, I just didn't say. I just let's do it. You know.
I forget about that.
I don't know. Anywho.
So anyway,
So this next topic. All right. So a girl writes in the Dear Abby, and she says about she has a friend who's throwing a house party. I think it's a housewarming party, and the friend invited the girl's ex-boyfriend to the party, and this ex-boyfriend already has a new girlfriend, so he's probably gonna bring her. She's wondering how should she handle this situation with her friend and her ex at this party. How would Nikki handle it?
all right. So how long have they been broken up? This doesn't
About 3
actually
months.
matter.
3
but
months.
Still,
About
that's
3
okay.
months.
I was just gonna say
I forgot to mention that, but yeah.
How long did they date? Do we know that?
No, but I think it's let's say over a year.
Okay,
But I
okay.
don't know.
I think that's. I don't. What kind of a friend, first of all? Why did you have to invite the ex-boyfriend? Like, are the friend or her
Yeah, are they, like-
and him like best friends? Were they friends before they dated? Okay, I could see that. But it sounds like she's just doing it to prove some kind of a weird point. Maybe not, but I think it's rude and really careless. I don't know.
How would you handle it?
I don't think I would go. I definitely think, depending on how uncomfortable it would make me and how upset it would make me, if it was going to ruin my night and potentially make me ruin the party, you know, I'm an emotional person. I could probably do some damage. But I think I would probably skip it, and I think I would have a hard time being close to this girl again for a while. I don't know. Do you think that's...
Yeah,
I think that's such a...
I'll go last.
Oof.
Well, you have to go next. Fuck that. I would definitely go. But honestly, I wouldn't be that woman's friend anymore because, you know, I think I can handle that, seeing him with someone else, you know? I've seen my ex with someone else. With Scott.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
like, you can
I just
take
think
him.
it would depend on how had they had any interaction since the breakup. Had he been rude to her? Had they had any? You know,
Was
I
it a
don't.
clean breakup?
Yes. Was it a
She
clean
never
breakup?
she never mentioned anything about
It sounds like it
that.
probably
We need more details.
wasn't. I know.
Let's email
she
her
didn't
back.
Get her on the phone.
We're gonna have a little
No.
cut, and then it's gonna come back with it. Well, so we learned this.
Well, no, she
So we tracked her down. The police are almost here, so we gotta quickly.
she didn't give that much detail. Like, you know, has he been rude? She just says he knows he got a new girlfriend. After they already dated, it sounds like. Well, Jacob, how would you deal with that situation?
So we are missing some details.
Right.
Yeah.
But St. Pete's a small enough of a town that, you know, at some point you will have to see your ex out with other people. So there's that. But if I said to a friend that I didn't feel super great about this for whatever reason, and we were still very close friends. And now that's the other thing. If it's a best friend, which I think it said it was.
It did say
We're
best
Best friend. So yeah, then there's a little more accountability. If it's an acquaintance or something, you can't make people,
Can't really say anything.
You can't make
yeah.
people. But yeah,
I
if
see
it's
that.
but if it's a best friend, I think I would do what she's doing. The girl who's writing us is that I would say, listen, like I'm not into this. If there's a girlfriend there, like I'm out, like peacing. You know, like we're not overlapping, like. And then probably I would do the same as what you said, give it a little space for a while.
Yeah, and just see what kind of friend this person actually is, because it doesn't sound like she's very committed to the
Yes,
friendship.
your best friend, my best friend. I don't imagine my best friend doing that. But I'm like, I would question that friendship, because I'm like, okay, because it sounds like they were best friends before the boyfriend came involved,
Right.
And they were probably dating for over, like, let's say a couple of years, because in order to know someone's friend enough to like get invited to parties, you got to know them a little
Yeah.
bit. And dating, I've seen Sean
That's a
like
good
a
point.
handful of times, like
Right. That's a good point, though.
So I mean, I would question my friendship with her, because then it's like I would go anyways, because I mean, I am an emotional person. Yeah, I would be upset, but I would go because I'm a bigger person than that. Like, oh well, whatever, he's here. Because he still exists on Earth, you know what I mean? If he's not
Right.
here, he's someone else. He's
Yeah.
somewhere else. I just would go. I would, but also
But you're a
I
better
would.
person than I would go and drink a bottle of wine and cause a scene.
Cause a scene?
If it was back in the
Would you
time
call
when
it-
this would happen
would
to
you
me.
cause a scene?
I mean, I wouldn't do it on purpose, but you never know.
I would pull a Princess Diana. I would come in, the full made up
Like,
face.
see, that's
and
what I would
looking
want to
great.
do. I would
Like,
probably try that, and then I would be crying by like
Come in.
9:30.
I mean, have you ever
Can't
heard
do
that
that
song
twice.
by Mary J. Blige? Like, the first time I came back after drag, after leaving Scott, I did that song, I'm Fine, by Mary. She's like, I'm fine, fine, fine. And he's like, I'm fine. That's how, come in looking
100%.
damn good.
That's how you should. Yeah, that's the
I
goal
would come
I would
in
want.
looking
but I'm
damn
just not
good,
saying.
with a new outfit, new shoes, hair did, and
Well,
have a good fucking time.
3 months later, I could see. I
Now,
could
if it
see
was the
maybe
next
going.
week,
No. I wasn't really, because I mean, really, my instinct would be to not go, and then I know that there would be people who would force me to go because it would look worse.
Yeah.
But 3 months, I guess, that I could do.
She can get.
If it was like a week or two, even a month, probably not.
I think a lot of people have to grow up about some things, because like life isn't what was advertised. Can I say it like that? Like when you're in high school, you're in elementary school, you can be anything you want in the world, and then you get out into the real world, and it takes a lot of money to like do a lot of stuff.
Yes, it
takes a
does.
lot of money to make it. And at the same time, I think people have to like grow up about that. Like, yeah, you're gonna date people. I mean, maybe I can say this coming from me, after what my mother said. But I'm like, you're gonna see him out anyway.
Yes.
He's gonna be alive.
Yeah.
She's got to get over that. You can't tell your friend who to invite her party, because they probably have a great relationship together. You don't know. They're probably just good friends. But how are you gonna say, because of my feelings? It's been 3 months, bitch. Like, it could have been 3 years. You could probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
I understand if it was the next day. Okay, don't invite them. I mean, I wouldn't go, but I would question that, because if your best friend knows you that well, she would probably know that you would probably feel a type of way, and she still invited him. I think she should just not be friends with her if it's that big of a problem. But I think she should get over it, because it's not that big of a deal. Like, it's been 3 months.
No, you're probably
That's
right.
just coming from me, but.
Well,
3
even though
months is a decent amount of time. Sorry, go ahead.
no, even though I said what I said before too, at the same time, like I had an event in drag that I did one night, and I invited a lot of my friends out, and there were 2 people who had been broken up with in a similar situation, and I was independently friends with both of them, and I did invite them both. I mean, no one said, hey, don't do that,
Right.
But I did, and I was like, well, they're gonna be there, I told them. I was like, I invited them both. If you want me to find out if they're coming for you, I will, but I didn't like go too far beyond
But that's
that.
a decent thing to do, and you didn't even have to do that. So like, I feel like that's
Yeah.
another thing. It just kind of like use tact, like.
Yeah.
And
How
we
you
also
handle it.
don't really know about anything about the breakup. I was just thinking about that.
We're
Like
missing
this
many
girl
details.
could have broken up with him. You don't know, and the best friend
Oh,
would be
he
like, "Enough
broke
is
up
enough.
with
I'm
her.
still okay." All right.
She did mention
I
he
missed
broke
that. I
up
did
with
miss
her.
that part. But either way, you're right. 3 months is a decent amount of time. And
Am I? Yeah.
No, you
It's okay
you
for-
should be like that's you. She should go. She should go, and she should dress up.
Yes.
And say screw it.
It's okay for her to feel the way that she feels.
Right.
But
Just don't let him see it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
Never
let
let
him
him
see
see
you
you
sweat.
sweat.
Ah! Did we just
You should shot a fireball.
off the same
You
thing?
should owe me shot a fireball.
Yeah.
Jeans. Anywho, well, guys, that's the show today. Yes, I loved it. We had a great conversation.
good.
I
That was
really
good.
wanted to get into online dating because I felt like I'm like, dude, come on. If
It's one of those topics that's ever prevalent. Like it's
Ever prevalent.
always
It
like
pervades everything.
Yeah. Yes.
I feel like online I wouldn't have met half the gay men I met now. I wouldn't have known anything. I wouldn't have been out there. I wouldn't have dated. You know, I would be unhappy. You know, I mean, I guess there's no right or wrong.
Oh, that's what I mean. There is
that.
no right or wrong.
Yeah.
You want to meet people, meet people.
Anywho, let's do our closing. Let's sign off. Again, thank you for watching, guys. I am Sean Nicholas, aka Desire Some More, your host and moderator. My co-host Nikki Perez, and our guest co-host Jacob King, aka Baklava.
Hey.
We will see you guys next week. Hopefully, we can get the original cast. We need to marry someone rich, but that's not happening. I'm far too old for that. But I'll see.
Next week's episode.
You're really not.
I'll see you guys next episode. Bye.
Bye.